It's okay, I can tell you, like, that doesn't bring me any confidence in you at all.
That actually makes me a little concerned. Don't try and cut your finger off.
Jeez, I wouldn't recommend cutting your finger off. I'm at Chelsea Court, by the way.
Yeah, I'm in there.
How have I been?
Oh,
I've
so
been
you
great.
cut your finger, not cut it off.
Yeah, you said you cut your finger off, okay? So it's not my fault that I didn't get as you were meaning. Hi, Salsa, welcome. I've been good. How are you, buddy? How's it going? Clock tower. I forgot the street. The street is very short. Very short. Do I have this quest? I don't have this quest. Need to go back to Marfleet. Oh, it's double reagents. Wow. So much happens.
I don't
when you...
have member.
Fair enough.
I
So
just
much
happen
happens.
to have this unlocked.
So much happens when you go to sleep and you just wake up and Wiz has like 600 tweets in the morning. It's great. It's just great. I'm like, wow, what am I missing today? Apparently quite a bit. Double reagents. Very cool. My favorite event. My favorite. You cut part of it off. This will be fun. I'm glad you were looking forward to this.
Wait, why is it showing double agents for me? Member bonus. Why isn't it showing for me?
I don't know.
I don't have member unlocked.
You broke the game. How dare you break the game? Oh my god. Is that normal?
Well, that's kind of my name, so.
Does that normally happen? Like, does it normally show like that? I don't know because I've
not
always had
normally.
member. Interesting. Interesting. I wouldn't know. I've always only had member, so yeah. I don't like paying with crowns. I prefer the bag extras and the free extras
usually
that you get.
buy up to a certain point.
Yeah.
Like in Power 101, I have up until you leave Skull Island.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's a pretty
In
decent
this
one.
game, I have up until Scotland Yard in Marleybone.
Nice.
Including the Ironworks. And the level 50 dungeon, I believe.
Oh, Buckingham Palace. Yeah.
No, not Buckingham Palace. It's Kingston Park, I believe it's called. The secret dungeon.
Oh, Kensington Park, yeah. That's not level 50. That's like level 30, but yeah. Right.
Oh wow, I forgot to grab it. I'll pour it in.
Okay. Okie dokie. Just wait till test realm releases. 5 million tweets. Yeah, I'm ready for that. I am excited to see if they change anything a little bit more. I personally think that cantrips is a little bit lame as it is at the moment. Break is very upset about PvP.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
I was a Magnus player.
I did see that you managed to get the 100 Medulla badge. Congratulations. We'll be resuming Medulla soon. Very soon, hopefully. I just need to get some time. I've got Enchanted.
Okay.
Yeah, I just need to get some time. Sorry, this week's been a little bit stressful. So I haven't streamed as much, unfortunately. I've been way too busy. But yeah, hopefully next week I can stream. Did you give me the same plate?
I think so. No worries, let you have another one up.
So do I.
I wasn't paying attention anyways.
Don't worry. I turn my brain off when I play Wiz as well.
Oh no, I actually did give you the right
blade. It is a
blade.
different one. Nice. So smart and intelligent. I don't have any enchants. Oopsie doopsie. Oops. Forgot to put them back in. Rip. It's okay.
Just the main idea of what I don't like about PvP is the level restrictions. That's it. And the fact of the matter, there's no longer free level casual PvP besides housing arenas now.
You could also go to the Avalon Arena in Avalon.
Avalon Arena?
Yeah, in Caerleon, there's an arena there that you can PvP against other people.
Never knew that. I'm not sure what you were talking about, actually.
I can show you later if you want.
I don't have member or that area unlocked,
Yeah,
anyways.
I'll show you on stream or share my screen or something. But yeah, there's
You
a
don't have to. I'll figure that out eventually.
yeah, there's a it might show up on the wiki. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it for you. Yoink. Yoink is Pip. Sounds fun. Oh, actually, wait. This is an outer yard. It's actually an outer yard. I lied. But yeah, there's a arena, an outer yard. Let's use this spell, which is cool. Yeah, near the castle in Avalon. Yeah, I forget what it's called. I just call that Caerleon because it's so close to it. I'm just the worst, Dylan. I'm just the absolute worst. Just so terrible. Yeah, an outer yard. But yeah, I can kind of understand why they're like making it like a smaller amount of level bands, just simply so there's more people actually doing PvP.
Yeah, I understand that, but I was more thinking of the community wise.
Yeah, well, I will trust that Ratbed has data to state that he's done the most minimal.
I meant like newer players who try to go in and learn.
Yeah, but
there
like
should be some way for them to learn.
Yeah, but like why would you PvP first? Like I wouldn't play this game just to do PvP. Like I wouldn't play this game just for PvP. So like I would wait until I was max level to PvP personally.
I don't understand that.
You don't understand that?
I understand that.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm talking about what if.
Well, I mean, hypotheticals aren't exactly the best way to talk about it. Because, I mean, it gets to a point where it's not like, if there's not enough people to justify, like, maintaining it, then why would you do that, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's not exactly...
I've only got regular.
Same. That's okay. I will, find another. But, like, I just feel that, like, perhaps...
Yeah, I know, Scott Scion. I actually saw that.
Yeah, they did add level 60. And Rapid also said that he would not add level 30 after that, which is funny. Yeah. But,
well, if there's a demand for it, maybe he will.
How much of a demand is there for it, though?
Currently, there's none.
Exactly.
Actually, there's still a few people that do, I guess, but not enough to basically determine.
Yeah.
To actually have a reason to use it.
And I guess that's his point. Not many people, new players, were doing PvP to start with. And if there's not, like, an existing, like, dedicated player base, then he's kind of like, well, you can just level up to, like, what is it, level 40 or 50 for the first bracket? I can't remember which level it is, but yeah. I think it's 40, isn't it? I think. I don't know.
Yeah, 40.
Yeah, 40.
50, 60, 69. 100, 109, and then 140 to 50.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like leveling up to level 40, 50 region isn't like a terrible thing. Because, like, the only real thing that you can get, like, at level 30 is Zeus Scare and stuff like that. And
I really never got used to Ocean Boost spells.
Yeah, well, maybe it's time to learn.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
maybe.
Also, I think they're going to be like phasing out those, like those dedicated utility ones by the sounds of it, and they'll just be sticking it on like cards with spell elements.
Yeah, but I've heard a rumor that they're going to make certain types of gear where, like, nerf a majority of the gear.
I don't think they're doing a full gear audit anymore. They've decided against that because people were like, you can't take away my gear, sort of thing.
No. To where you can't use it, like, consistently to level.
What?
Like, how long it lasts you.
Oh, so like you can't use Waterworks gear up until level 100.
Like, reduce damage, resist, all that.
Interesting. I haven't heard that at all, but yeah.
I've heard it from my one friend who used to do PvP.
Interesting. And that would just be in PvP, or actual like the whole game.
Actually, the whole game.
Well, they need to start making some better gear in some other places then. Because I mean, you get to Waterworks level 60. That's basically the best gear until Malistaire, unless you want to do Tartarus, which is at level 90.
Actually, before they do that, there should be other options for gear.
Yeah, exactly. If they're gonna do that, then they have to make there be other options that will replace that gear at those certain levels. So, like, if you're only meant to be wearing gear for 10 levels, then
Yeah.
then you need to make something for level 70 and 80, and you can upgrade like the level 90 gear at Tartarus. But then also they would have to nerf Dragoon gear.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? Because they spent so long building up Dragoon gear with item sets because it was trash originally, and if
I've
you're
got
just
enchanted.
Oh shoot. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. As you said that, I was enchanting my only blade that I had.
It's okay.
It happens. Imagine buffing Atlantia gear. Imagine. I don't know if I like that though. I mean, I don't necessarily think that you should always be
From
farming
my
for gear.
experience using it on Storm, it should be buffed a little, but not like a whole lot.
Atlantia gear.
Yeah.
Atlantia gear is hot trash in my opinion.
Mostly because it's a little hard to get for Storm in particular because they can't prism. They have to mass prism. Oops, just saw that.
That's okay. Yeah, but you can have other characters help you get Atlantia gear.
Yeah.
Storm doesn't necessarily have to hit, you know. I'm all in favor of Storms that Jade. My Storm Wizard is going to be the best Jade in the game. Trust me. Trust me, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
What I wanted to do is basically build up a Jade Storm that only spams Insane Bolt to hit, where he has 100% resist to everything, no pierce.
Is it possible to get 100% resist to everything?
It is for ice.
Yeah, but not as Storm. Also, I don't think it would be possible anymore because there's a curve, isn't there? For PvE still.
Yeah.
Like for PvP, so it's probably not even possible anymore to have like full 100% resist, which sucks. But yeah, I'm gonna make a Jade Storm Wizard because hitting is below me. Or something like that. Something along those lines. It'll be the best Jade Storm Wizard anyone will ever see.
I do have a Storm that I'm working on eventually.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna wait until next update to start them.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What is your thoughts on cantrips?
I didn't really get a chance to mess around with them on test run yet.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But basically, from what I've seen on the cost, if the cantrip spell is basically a cosmetic or just something that's useless, it shouldn't cost so much energy.
Completely agree with that. Here's a thought that I thought about earlier, like an hour ago. What happens if they changed mana so that it was used for cantrips, but you couldn't refill it through potions, and you had to find the blue wisps around?
No. No way.
Why not?
Because that would interfere with PvE, and actually, yeah, it would interfere with PvE.
How?
Because you need that mana to cast regular spells.
Yeah, but like you never run out of mana, and you can always just refill it through the blue wisps. And I think
the way they have it set up is actually more beneficial.
I don't like the whole energy cost of it because they haven't been upping max energy, and having another energy sink to a system that hasn't been had any buffs since 130, and basically all of the energy gear, the best energy gear, is pay to win, and you wouldn't use that anyway for like general stuff. Plus there's already how many systems now? Like 4 systems that suck energy. And if your system is not better than gardening or pet training, you're not going to be using energy for cantrips, thus making cantrips basically useless.
Yeah, I get that.
Plus, also, there's a cooldown on cantrips anyway. So if you instead just have the cooldown instead of energy, which would basically do the same thing, it would still lock you out for a certain amount of time. Wouldn't that be better?
Yeah, it would.
Just my opinion. I'm not asking you to say I'm gonna change that because I know you can't. But I just want to gauge other people's opinions on that, because I find it weird that you'd have like 2 time locks, basically an energy time lock and then also a cooldown time lock on it. I just find that strange, in my opinion. Especially when some of the time locks are 2 minutes. Like going invisible, one of the weird like quirks of it, is 2-minute time lock before you can use another cantrip.
And no PvP, to be honest.
Yeah, like it
because being purely invisible would mess around with the opponent's
it doesn't show that in combat. You can't be in combat and also invisible.
No,
as soon as you move, you
generally, in a PvP standpoint, they won't know who's who, essentially.
Yeah, no, you cannot be invisible in combat, because as soon as you move, you just turn into the ghost form, like you've just come out of a fight, and it would turn off in combat. So, yeah. But yeah, I just find it a little bit strange how they have both a cooldown and also a energy lock on it. It just seems a little bit odd to me. Hi, welcome to my fight. Have you seen any leaks about raids?
Oh yeah, I've seen some.
What are your thoughts so far?
I'm glad that's actually coming to the game.
What are you hoping for with that?
Obviously, the name Raid allows more than 4 players to join the fight.
Hmm. Anything else that you're like expecting from that update?
Exclusive gear would also be another thing.
Yeah. I have always had this like really big idea for like a crazy raid like system in Wizard 101. Basically, you have up to 8 people in a dungeon, but you start with like nothing. So like it's a fresh inventory. And you have to like craft and find gear to beat the boss, basically. And I think that would be kind of cool, because it would basically force you to do things that you wouldn't normally do, but you still get the joy of fighting as well.
Yeah.
And then you could also have people who are like, I'll do the I'll do the whole fighting bit, and then you'll have other people who are like crafting gear for everybody else, and you could like trade that between each other or something. That would be kind of cool, I feel.
I'm seeing if I on hand actually remember the puzzle.
Do you remember the puzzle?
Answer.
It shows up at the end of this next fight though, so don't worry. They've put in so many safeguards nowadays. I think
Well,
also,
let's see if this is right.
you have to talk to Baxter first.
Nope.
You have to talk to
Oh well.
Baxter. You can't just skip that, unfortunately.
There is a way, technically.
Yeah, there is, but I wouldn't recommend doing that because you don't get any XP. I'm at the boss. What I disagree with was making Magic Touch spell 15 energy. You already needed more than one wizard willing to spend their hard-earned energy. Exactly. I was upset about that one because, I mean, we open one of those chests on stream. You get about 1 to 2 spellements if you open it. I've only got unenchanted.
I have enchanted.
And then if each of you are spending 2 energy, you need 3 players. 2 times 3 is 6. That's already 6 energy that's been like synced, you know. And if you're having 3 players with 15 energy, that's like kind of ridiculous. I don't think it needed to be that big for what you actually get from the spell. Like if it was a spell that allowed you to get like 10 to 20 spell elements with 3 people help, that would be better. But if you only get like 2 spell elements, if that, I got 1. And they're not necessarily even for your own school either. It's just kind of bad. It's just kind of bad in my opinion. No, it isn't. And that's my whole point. Like, what's the point of cantrips? Sucking energy that you could rather use for gardening or fishing or pet training. You know? Like,
not everything has to be pay to win.
Yeah, exactly. And like if you had a cooldown, if you quadruple the cooldown on all of the spells, you can still have, a cantrips cooldown timer reset thing, you know? It just seems a little bit dumb to me to have it as an energy cost, because it just doesn't really make sense in my mind. Like this is sort of stuff that it doesn't need an energy cost.
Or actually, from what I think, it should just be a cooldown.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
just
think...
a cooldown.
That's what I have told them basically. I think the cooldown should be like quadruple times longer if it is just a cooldown, but it still should just be a cooldown. You know, it doesn't need an energy cost, especially considering snake, bird, bug. Especially considering the fact that, it's half of the things are just like gimmicky sort of things. You can like do a flip once, for 1 energy, you can do 1 flip once, or you could just go into your emotes and, do a whole repeating dance for 0 energy, You could wave to someone for 0 energy. It just doesn't make any sense to me why it's costing energy. Like, it just seems
Yeah,
like
that
an artificial cost for no reason.
yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Bird, bug, snake. Also, since Spirit Retriever's in the game, you can just make a pet with that and have the same amount of spellments. Yeah, but that only works in Crocotopia from memory. Like those only work in Crocotopia. It doesn't actually affect much, and that also has a cooldown. So like, why do you have a cooldown on that? You've already spent the energy, you know? Like, that just seems stupid. If you're not going to be like, oh yeah, we won't have an energy cost for those things because you've already spent the energy. But it does literally the same thing as spending 15 energy. Is a little bit stupid in my opinion. It just doesn't really make sense. Just really doesn't make any sense at all. I'll head back to Baxter. Bum 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 bum.
You don't have to worry, I left a mark.
Okay. Cool. You already spent the energy. Why have a cooldown for that? Yeah, I mean, I'm not upset for the cooldown. I think it's probably a good thing. But if you're going to be making it have the exact same, you know, work, because not only do you have to have a cooldown for that, I believe you also have to unlock that talent as well. I believe. I could be wrong on that. But I believe you also have to unlock the talent with the talent tokens. So then, why is it so weak if you're going to spend all of that time not only training a pet, but also unlocking all of those talents as well? Because that's a lot of pet training that goes into that. It just doesn't really make sense in my opinion. Like, it just seems like they've kind of forgotten why people play the game. Plus, my other thing is, if they're going to lock spellments for higher level players behind those chests, that's not fun. I'll let you do the puzzle. That's not fun. People already hate farming reagents. You know, like, why would people want to go running around by themselves looking for a chest and then having their 2 other friends port to them? Like, it's just not worth it, honestly. And then also, why does crafting not cost energy? You know? Wouldn't you think that would cost energy if they want a cost for things? But yet that's just a cooldown. It's just a little bit inconsistent in my opinion.
And to be frank, some PvP gear I view that you should actually just be made craftable instead.
PvP
like
gear.
the energy PvP set in particular.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's carried over into the... Is that carried over into the test run?
No, it didn't. But in particular, that would be useful for all players, technically.
Yeah, I have the fishing set which you can get from arena tickets. For when I do
Making
fish.
that craftable would solve a lot of issues, to be honest.
Yeah, you know, like the biggest issue I have is energy. They seem to have like stalled the cap of energy, which, you know, is fine if they didn't want to add any extra things. But now you're adding a whole extra system to it, but not having like any bonus energy. We've had the same amount of max energy since level 130, which is ridiculous. People who don't have crowns and haven't opened packs for like top energy gear only will have 130 energy. They can probably get a little bit more if they farm Aphrodite, but generally you're not going to do that because that's also skeleton keys, which is absolutely ridiculously hard to get.
Unlike obsidian keys in Power 101.
Yeah.
Those are ridiculously easy to get.
Yeah, exactly. Those are well put into the game, but like the skeleton keys and whiz are just a great concept, but they drop too infrequently. And basically, with the addition of team up, everyone just like goes into a team up fight expecting someone else to use a key because they're so rare to get. And it's just so frustrating. So frustrating.
If they do nerf damage and resist, like I've heard, I think they should do it based on school's identity.
Well, I mean, they've already nerfed damage and resist with the whole curve thing.
Yeah.
And that's just like a flat out thing. I don't think it necessarily has to fit with the school identity because that comes with gear.
Yeah.
So I don't think it needs to be like a school by school basis. I think it's fine if it's just like a flat across the board thing. Because then also it's less confusing for people who have multiple characters. They're like, oh, how much is the storm resist cap? Or how much is the storm damage cap, you know? When if it's just one thing, I don't know what it is, but, you know, there's more likely that people will know that number. Whereas if there's 5 different, you know, variations of the damage cap or 7 different damage caps, then people are less likely to know. And it'll be a higher barrier to entry. Why can't you have Lady Blackhope drop in Leprechaun Spellements? I mean, even just like, it doesn't even have to be Lady Blackhope. It should just be a whole bunch of like, lots of bosses, not just one boss dropping one spellement, you know? Like, just spread them across every single boss in the game. If their school equals this, they'll drop those spellements. If their level or if their rank equals this, they'll drop these, like, 2 to 3 different rank of spellements around that rank. You know, like maybe rank 2 bosses will drop rank 1, 2, and 3 spellements. Maybe just rank 1 or 2. Who knows? But, like, there's so many better ways of going about that, in my opinion. And also, let higher level players do that as well. Because a lot of people don't like running around looking for chests. Because either way, you're going to be doing that with Elemental and Spiritual Retriever. And also, cantrips. You're going to be running around looking for chests, and people hate that. I can tell you, as someone who has so many ridiculous guides on crafting on my YouTube channel, they always get so popular because people hate running around and they want to find the easiest way to get reagents. Because, you know, and that's why there's no reagents in the bazaar.
There usually is, from what I see.
Well, there's not as many as there used to be because everyone scalps them now. Because they don't want to run around and get them. There's usually only 1 to 2 pages now. And they're like of like super duper common reagents that you're never going to be using for crafting, basically. All of the rare reagents you can no longer find in the bazaar. Even Mistwood you cannot find in the bazaar most of the time. Because nobody likes farming for reagents anymore. It's just not something you do. And if you do, you're hoarding them for yourself. So, yeah. It's not great. What I also don't like is they physically locked high level players from getting their rank 1 and 2 spellements from bosses. I mean, in the test run, they've locked higher rank players getting any of the new spellements because they're too high for the world that you're meant to be dropping them in. Same with the gear. You can't get any of the new Morganth gear or Malistair gear if you're level 140, 150. You just can't. It's not possible. Which I find really stupid because the best thing about MMOs is getting gear and getting, you know, upgrading things.
Or
numbers go up. Everything better. You know, but like the fact that you've locked that out, which is like a core part of the game for so many people, is a little bit ridiculous. And I don't understand why they did that. Still possible, but much harder. Yeah, exactly, for literally no reason. Like, there's no reason why higher level players shouldn't be allowed to farm bosses for spellements. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. And, okay, if that's the case, what are you going to do when you get up to Caramel? Are you going to eventually make it so that players can't upgrade their Caramel spells from the bosses there?
I have regular Balanced Blade.
Okay, I've got Enchanted. Are they going to do that? You know, like next level 160, you're not going to be able to get your caramel spells anymore. So you have to get them before then. But they won't tell you that until that update goes live, because KingsIsle doesn't explain these features beforehand. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, okay, so if you're going to say that there's no gear dropping at a certain level, why drop any gear at all? Like, if you can't get the best gear, why drop any gear at those levels? It'll clear up bag space. You won't have to worry about having a whole bunch of less bag space if you're going for badges. You know? Perhaps they should do that. Just like if you're X amount of levels over, you don't get any gear or any gold. Because that's basically what they're saying. If you can't get the best gear, then why would you not drop? Why would they still drop other gear? That doesn't make any sense to me. I just a little bit upset with this. Not upset, but a little bit confused as to why they're changing it like this. Because to me, it doesn't really make sense. You know? Just doesn't really make sense. Bum ba dum bum. Bum ba ba dum bum ba ba dum bum ba ba dum ba ba da ba da ba dum. Bum bum. But yeah, it's just a little bit weird to me, in my opinion. We'll do this. I can Scorpion next.
Okay. But yeah, after this, I don't have anything else. Unless someone wants to donate.
That's okay. That's okay. Bum bum bum. Scorpion. Scorpion. Kablam. 401. Nice. Easy clap. Myth hat. Ooh. Stinky. Stinky myth hat. Yucky, yucky. Imagine having a myth character. I would never do that. I would never have a...
For PvP, it's actually quite good.
I'm really looking forward
because
to...
you can just Minotaur.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to maxing my myth character soon. TM.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah, I have a level... How high is my... 127-ish myth character at the moment in Imperia? He's my next character that I'll be getting to max later this year, which is cool. Very cool. That's all you have, eh?
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! That's okay. I will hop and do something else for a little bit.
I'll stick around though.
Okie dokie. I'll show you the arena that I was talking about in Avalon. I'll just leave a link at the Scotland Yard. Boom.
I'm seeing the stream as well.
Cool. I will hop on my death